So I've been cutting my hair for a few years now, off and on. I actually really enjoy it. I think it's a fun challenge. And then also I do like to stretch my hair appointments out. And I figure, why not? Also, it's beneficial to keep your hair trimmed as it actually helps it to grow faster. I'm gonna show you guys what I do. It's pretty easy and you can do it with your hair wet. But personally, I think the easiest is when it's dry. I did a little bit of both, so I have already done it, and like, I'm going to admit to you guys, my hair is not perfect. I am not a hairdresser, and I did this myself. So yes, it's not perfect, but it passes, and you have to think like, you know, how often is your hair perfectly straight where somebody can really see, like, and I mean, they'd have to be staring at you to tell your hair is not perfect, right? I mean, I could probably tweak it a little bit better, but I don't really care. I don't know if it's like showing to you guys like the job I did. Okay, anyways, let's get to it. So I got these scissors from Sally's Beauty a while ago. They're super sharp. They're really good. They're called Oster. That's the brand. Oster. And I don't think they were very much money. I don't remember, maybe like $20. I don't have like the perfect tools. I have a comb like this that I use, and then I use my hairbrush. So what I like to do is I part it in the middle, and I try to do a perfect part through the back if you can. I swear to God, that is the hardest thing. You definitely want to have another mirror so that you can keep checking your work. So I use this. And so this is a really handy trick. So you want to make sure, oh, and by the way, a flat iron. You want to flat iron your hair as perfect as you can. My hair underneath is actually really wavy, so it's a little tricky, but I try to do it as best I can. Okay, so this is what you're going to want to do. So think about it, right? If you keep your head straight, and this is what I did before, and I mean, I still have it a slight bit, but if you keep your head really straight, your hair in the back will go like this. It will make like a V. So what I do to combat that, like I said, part your hair in the back, put your head up, because now you're dropping the back of your hair, right? Which means that this part will hang lower. So if I put my head up, see how it pulled up? So you want to put your head back, and I'm just going to look in my mirror. And you really want to, so mine is not perfect. And the reason why is because the technique I'm showing you now is something I learned after I did the majority of cutting. So I just didn't want to go any shorter to correct it, but now I know for the next time how to begin better. So basically like this, and you don't have to do the front part if you don't want. Like, you can take away, say, like from kind of your ear. Do you see what I mean? Make this like quadrant or whatever. You can take away this part if you want and like clip it up or something, and then just work on this mostly back part, if that makes sense. So yes, tip your head up and make sure you're getting it as straight as you can. Pull it back, make sure it's perfect. And you are going to want to cut pretty dang straight. Okay, mine is not perfect, but like I said, I am not going to go back in because I'll be cutting off more hair. Okay, see that? So you want to cut like this. Mine's not perfect, like I said, but it's pretty straight, right? And the reason why is because as soon as you put your head back to normal, like I said, this back area is going to raise. And if you don't do that, you will have that V, that really obvious V. And I never knew how to do this. I watched this lady's video. She does a lot of like DIY beauty stuff. I think her name's Lisa something. I'll try to find her channel and I will link it below. So yes, she explained this and she did this, and I was like, oh my God, just made so much sense. So that's like the starting kind of thing you want to do. And I mean, you can do all of it, like do it. I like to do it on a like slight slant. I don't know if that's like a thing you have to do, but yeah, as you can see, mine's kind of going like higher here because this is more the back and then down. That's how I like to get it straight. And then so you would do the same to the other side. And you want to make sure they match up. Okay, mine's not perfect because I screwed up last time I cut my hair, which was like a month ago. I took off about 1 inch and I just don't want to take off anymore to get it perfect. So I'll fix it next time. But yeah, same situation. This one, like I said, is not perfect. I don't know why it's higher here, but it is. But yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, I see a little piece there. See, if you see little pieces like that, that can go. Like, why is that sticking out? Make sure you're really pulling your hair down straight like this. And then if you just see like some random areas sticking out, you want to cut it because it should all be consistent when your head is up. When your head is straight, it will not be consistent. So what I used to do is I used to cut my hair with my head straight. Stupid, really bad idea. And I would go like this, and like I'd look in the back of the I'd put my hair back and look in the mirror and see it was doing that V, and I was like, oh my god, like how do I get rid of that? So this last time I cut my hair, I screwed this side up more than this side, so this side's shorter, and the reason why it's a little bit messed up is because I just don't want to make it shorter. I'm gonna wait for it to grow and then I will even it out so it's perfect. But yeah, so I learned my mistake, and that is how you don't do that. So some other things I've been doing is I will take these pieces, and you can decide like how much you want to take. Sometimes it's hard to cut a lot at once, so maybe you want to do a little bit, and I bring it across like this, and then you go, what I do is I point cut. I don't want to do it right now, but I point cut into my hair like this. So it's not like, I don't do a line like that because you're going to notice stuff like that. So you want to point cut, in my opinion, whenever you're going into your hair, if that makes sense. And I'm not a hairdresser, guys. This is what I do. So can you see this? Like I would point cut this and then drop, do the same to the other side. So make sure you're taking like the same amount from the top of your head. You want to bring it across again, same distance, same angle, whatever, right? Make sure everything's identical. And then again, you want to point cut. Then you want to bring these pieces forward and you want to make sure that they line up, right? And if they don't, you can go in and like point cut them so that they do. And you can do that so on and so on until you get to the end or however you want it. Mine's not perfect. I might go in and add more, but it's good enough for now for me. So I think I'll just leave it. Something else I did, you can do this, or what I really want to do is get, I think they're called thinning shears, where you can like cut your hair, but it only takes out so much because it's not like a pure scissor, it's like a serrated scissor, if this makes sense. So it doesn't cut all your hair. But what I did, and this is not like a perfect like hairdresser technique, and I'm sure hairdressers would like freak out if they saw this video, but I would take like, and you want to be really careful in this section because you can actually create a hole here if you're not careful. And I did that a few years ago, cutting my hair. But you want to take like a certain amount, just so it's not so chunky on the ends. And then you want to go in and point cut. And that will just help so it lays, I'm shedding, hang on. That will just help so it lays nicer and it's not so blunt. So mine's actually quite blunt at the back because I only did that a little bit. I do need to do it more. I just don't feel like it right now. I'm just really not in the mood. But yeah, I will take like sections like this And then what you do is you angle up so that a lot of the length will fall. See what I'm doing? See how it's falling? Then you're stuck with this, which is more so the top. So you have your bottom of your hair there. Then you can point cut into this, and then it will just help it lay nice. So it doesn't lay so blunt at the end. And like I said, or else you can buy the thinning shears, which I really want to buy, because sometimes point cutting is not always perfect. And you could really take out a big chunk by accident if you're not doing it perfectly. So like I said, take a section of your hair, angle up, and the more you angle up, the more you're working on just the top too. So if you're like really freaked out, grab your section and angle up really high. Then you're really only working on that little top layer. And then like if you have thinning shears, you just go chop, 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 chop. You can chop all that, right? Or you can do like what I do and I point cut into it. And then so you can see I did some. See how these pieces are shorter? But you have to be really careful because you don't want to have big chunks. You want to have it where when it lies, it's blending. So some of mine's like slightly chunky, but it's nothing bad. And when I look back at my professional haircuts, I have very obvious layers, and I actually think it adds interest. So like personally, I would enjoy more of that in my hair, and I just haven't done it. But I think it actually adds interest, it adds texture, and it makes your hair lay a lot nicer. So you can see I did it in this area before as well. I did this like a month ago. See how these pieces, some of them are shorter that are falling down. I did it throughout the back too, but I just didn't do it as heavily. So like I said, you would want to grab like a section and then go in, point cut. And do not do this because you will have a obvious layer, like a line where you cut. So you want to point cut. And then it just helps it lay. I would do like kind of up to here, like, you know what I mean? Like, so the pieces are like here. If you really want a more layered look, you can go higher. But then like, if you're going to go higher, please angle up because you don't want to have a lot of hair that you're cutting because it will make that obvious line. You want to have just a small amount so it blends, but it just gives you that nice movement. So that is how I cut my hair at home. If I want to stretch my hair appointments or whatever, especially if you have long hair, I feel like it's pretty easy unless you have like a more difficult kind of hairstyle going on. But for long hair, this is what I do. And mine's not perfectly flat right now either. I'm just looking in the mirror. But as you can see, it's pretty good, right? Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys ever cut your hair at home. If you have a specific technique that you think is a lot better, please let me know as I would love to hear it. Okay, I will see you in my next video.